Hi, it's Butterfly. How are you? I'm now making officially my first video on my tablet. I bought one last night, so I feel like a big girl, like I graduated into the year 2020. Sometime after typewriters and VHS came a whole blur of technology, and I'm finally now catching up. So yeah, no, I still don't have a cell phone, and I still don't want a cell phone. And this video is totally, it's personal, so I'm just going to babble. It's not an informational video. Typically I'll give some information videos about, witchcraft or a book review, or, I'll try and sound really intelligent about something, but not this one, not this one. This is just totally me chatting about how beautiful everything is. I'm going to do a switch of this darn camera thing, I think, and give you, nope, apparently I'm not. I wanted to show you how beautiful it is back here. And because the sun is shining, I really can't give a good appreciation for, what I'm seeing on the screen. So I'm trying to give you some florals, but this is one of the favorite areas I come to when I want to think and just be around nature. I'm going to have to get better with this tablet and just sort of figure out how to use perhaps a tripod so I can chat with you and not move the tablet so much, because that would make for a nice video too. Hear the crickets? I don't know if you can hear the crickets. I can hear the crickets. So if this area is familiar to you, I'm just trying to keep, my hometown a little confidential, so please don't post it in the comments down below. But anyways, yeah, this year has been very very challenging, to say the least, and it's been a time of a lot of change. I know I'm bouncing around. You may want to look away from your camera. I know when people are bouncing around on their cameras, it makes me a bit nauseous. I'm walking over to an area. This is a beautiful tree. Beautiful, beautiful. Look how tall that is. I wonder if I can get it on the screen. How lovely that is. Yeah. It's a great area. But I'm walking to a space where essentially I pick up a lot of feathers. So I really don't make a lot of use of most of the feathers that I use, because at this point it's probably in the hundreds. Oh, and this guy's got his radio blaring, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be, a copyright issue or whatever the case may be. Anyways, so I'm bringing you to right by the lake, where we can see down here. There's the lake, and there's some beautiful feathers that I pick up. So there's some seagulls and ducks. The duck feathers tend to be like purple shimmery, blue shimmery. It's just really gorgeous here. So these are some of the areas that I love to visit when I want to be with nature. But if I really want to be alone with nature, sometimes going in an area that's a little out of the city is better, because you're a little bit more isolated. There's not as much, people and traffic and stuff, but it's a little less accessible, and it's a little more scary because you just don't know about safety these days too, right? So I'm going to try and, I really can't see what's on the screen, but I'm going to try and give you a bit of a view of beautiful birds that are here. Hopefully I'm able to see that. It's just that when the background is seen, I can't really sort of keep things, the location or the city sort of unknown. I mean, we like to be a little bit anonymous, but maybe I can blur that out a little later. Anyway, so this year has been quite a time of change. I went back to school last year. I'm just going to pick a little spot here. I went back to school last year so that I could get requalified. I've been working in daycare for quite some time. And just see if I can do this in a way here. If I can get some like, it's really difficult. Anyway, this was not terribly well planned, but that's okay. You'll love me anyway. Yeah, so I went back for addiction and mental health, and I'm now working in that field as well as daycare like in schools now. So I used to do a lot of in-home licensed care as a registered early childhood educator. Now I'm doing it in schools and with an agency, well, the same agency, just in a different capacity. And I'm also working in mental health once again, but this time with an addiction, a population that is in treatment for addiction. So it's a different population than what I worked in before with the degree in psychology that I did, years ago. That was like in the 1990s. I graduated from that, and I was working in group homes and stuff. So this population has been different, and I'm finding myself, personally challenged and spiritually challenged because as an adult child of an alcoholic, there are issues that I guess you can say trigger would be the appropriate word. And so it's a different level of academic, different level of personal development and spiritual development. And so once again, I do find myself kind of really wanting to ground and reconnect with my techniques that I like to do, and that includes witchcraft, folk type witchcraft, where I really work with the elements and just simple things like rocks and feathers and stones and rocks and stones are pretty much the same, but water and the wind and fire, and that's just as simple as bringing a safe way to kind of make a little fire in my backyard, or going by the lake, or feeling the wind on my face and appreciating being in the moment and being mindful. But it's also more than that. So I want to be able to reflect in some interesting ways. Look how tiny that little itty bitty bird is. Oh my goodness! I wonder if I can. Look at that little itty bitty bird there, just walking. Oh my goodness! Can't be bigger than like 2 ounces of bird, and then I'm sitting beside those huge Canadian geese. It's crazy. They all get along together in this ecosystem, I guess. So yeah, I want to talk more about how I kind of get through my day developmentally. And part of what I wanted to mention, I want to try and sit down over here on this sexy little rock beside this purple feather. Oops! Without falling into the lake, hopefully. Try to do that. Let's try not fall in the lake. How about that? Here's the purple feather. Purple feather. The lighting's probably really crappy. I may not even post this video. But anyway. So yeah, getting through that. Oh, how if I sit this way? Getting through the day recently has been a bit of a challenge because it's affecting, it's touching me spiritually. It's touching, who I am as a little child who's grown up to be an adult. So some of the behaviors that I see from people really remind me of the things that I grew up with that have a way of resurfacing in a really interesting way. And now as an adult, I get to say, I'm going to look at that with a different perspective. So, I don't know, it's yeah, I think I'm going to focus on nature right now and get more specific about those interesting learning perspectives that I've been experiencing, probably in a more well thought out video instead of just saying things off the cuff. But I do want to say that I really appreciate when you come to visit on my channel And, you know, I really appreciate the comments that you leave down below. It gives us a chance to sort of interact and be together. I think that on a spiritual level, we connect really well with people on the internet because there's just something very, I guess, magical about being able to sort of find like-minded people and really sort of focus on things that are of interest to you. You know, if you're interested in one particular video, then there's that topic that we connect on. If there's another video, then there's that topic that we connect on. But perhaps not all things about me as a human, as a person, would relate to you on all levels. So I think that's one of the things that happens with YouTube, is that we connect on very specific things, so it's easy to get along. In real life, IRL, we meet people and we may not see eye to eye on all sorts of things, but because you are in real life, you're faced with that reality. You can't just switch channels or delete or skip to the next person, skip to the next video. So there's a time element there in real life that's a little different, and that forces you to get involved with people and with places and with things. So that's a difference between the relationships that are online. I don't think they're less real. They're just they appear to be more manageable, I think, and they're different. They're different. So the air is perfect. It's a beautiful Sunday morning in August, in early August, and there's boats on the lake. There's ducks surrounding me now that I'm being still. They're coming in a little closer. I hear the seagulls in the background. I hear the motor of the boat that I'm seeing ahead. So there's a family of people who are just enjoying this beautiful day. This year has been a time of change, and as much as I've graduated from one program, I wasn't able to actually have a graduation ceremony again with this program because of COVID. And I'm, despite knowing a little bit more about how the world works in one area of study, because of COVID, I really feel like in some ways I'm totally unqualified to live on this planet. Oh my God, it's like breathing. I thought I had a handle on it, but you know, there's like a whole way of breathing now, and opinions about whether people should wear masks or not wear masks, and the rights and the responsibilities. And you can't talk about rights without talking about responsibilities. So we have the right to wear a mask, we have the right to not wear a mask, we have the responsibility to protect ourselves and others. You know, so breathing is altogether a whole different thing. And how we share space. Have you noticed? 6 feet apart from the next person, walking in a shopping aisle has taken on a whole new set of rules. Unspoken rules, spoken rules, arrows so that you go up this aisle and down that aisle. And if I want this thing that's over here and the aisle's going in a different direction, I kind of walk backwards with my shopping cart facing the other way. Slowly. Oh, it's not funny. Oh my God. Walking through a door is different because, you know, at one place of work there's like a double door. And my motor memory, my muscle memory says that once they open one door, the exterior door, as you hear the lapping of the waves coming in and wetting my pants, you can hear them because the boat went by. Anyway, that's what you're hearing, is a lot of splashing. Okay, I get it. What? Sheesh. Anyways, as they open the exterior doors, I'm supposed to keep it open with my foot while they wipe the door handles with anti-COVID spray, Oxifer. And then they go through the second interior doors And then, once they close that door, then I can enter the in between the door space, answer some questions, get my temperature taken. And then after the whole screening is done, then I can open the second door and go in and start my day. We never did that before. That's a whole new, you thought you could open a door? Entering a building is altogether different. There's like lineups outside, spots on sidewalks, sprayed with permanent kind of ink or whatever, like with images so that you know where you can stand. 6 feet apart from the next person, you know, ahead of you and behind you. These sort of things were never done before. In some ways I kind of like it. In some ways I kind of like having a mask on my face, because then I get to smile with my eyes. I don't have to be as fussy with lipstick and makeup. But then sometimes I may be thinking about something, and quite often people read my face wrong. And then I have to deal with that. Which then I have to develop a hypersensitivity about what people are reading. And I find that the mask, wearing half my face is covered, kind of isolates against that, you know? So as long as I have makeup on my eyes, or happier eyes, or whatever expression on my eyes, the rest of my face is sort of more difficult to read. And so that really changes the interactions between each other. You really have to smile with your eyes now. And so if I'm deep in thought, somebody may have previously taken that as, oh, you look so serious, you must be angry. Whereas really, that has nothing to do with you as a person. I'm just in my own mind. So I find the mask really helps with dealing with people. I don't know, do you find the same thing? Do you find that interactions have changed when you're wearing a mask? Because definitely with me. Yeah, again, also with feeling kind of unqualified, I learned how to flush the toilet the other day. Yeah, there's like this no-touch toilet, and in the schools where the kids kind of get irritated when little 2 or 3-year-olds get irritated and scared because the toilet's flushing so often because of their movement. They're very, you know, very, very busy little people who are sitting on the toilet and just always making the toilet flush because it's sensitive to movement. We put a sticker on the toilet sensor, and then I came along and I had to clean up after them, and so I needed to relearn how to flush the toilet because it wasn't flushing and there was no flush handle. So like, I'm relearning how to breathe, how to go through a door, and how to flush a toilet. And it just seems like no matter how many books you read, you just need to kind of keep on learning stuff. And then internet, this new tablet, things that people know, I'm learning. Anyway, I'm taking this day off to really enjoy nature and reconnect with just the elements, because I know that once September hits, which is just in a few weeks, people are coming to feed the birds. Yeah, it's going to get really chilly, really cold, really fast, and we'll be wearing sweaters. So, and then school, we don't still know what school is going to be like for the kids this year. It's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting indeed. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch base with you. This is a long rambly thing. I don't normally do long rambly things, but I'm all excited about having this tablet. I feel like a big girl now. I'm going to continue enjoying this beautiful day and the temperature. And I'm going to try and catch up with some videos. Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to mention too, is that I was doing really well during COVID. Those first few weeks, before I went into emergency childcare, I was able to kind of do a whole series of videos, like flip-throughs, which were pretty easy. I flipped through Fridays. I did like 10 or 15 of those, or whatever, I don't know how many, and I kind of went into July, and I thought, wow, that's like, I'm good for a long time, I can catch up. Then I started doing 1 video a week on Tuesdays. Now, though, I have a full-time job and a part-time job, and I'm really relishing the day off that I have. So I know that it's affecting the amount of videos that I'm making, and I'm just going to fly with it. I know you're going to love me all the same. and I'll do what I do when I do it. Yeah, pass the butter. So onward and upward. I do have a lot of video ideas that I want to kind of complete, books that I've read, completed and read. So book reviews are coming up, and they'll get done and probably scheduled at regular intervals in the future, so that you know, at least it looks like I'm somewhat busy, even though I'm going to try and do them in advance and post-date them. Okay. Happy Sunday, August morning. Take care. Have a great day, and have a, look for a happy moment today.